Have you guys ever heard of the term martyr syndrome? What about martyr personality disorder and victim complex? I'm sure a lot of you have had experiences with family members, friends, coworkers who just seem to like the attention that is associated with either being the victim or being a rescuer. Hero syndrome is what I call the martyr personality disorder, and it is a recognized psychological term that really pulls apart the individual who seems to kind of get a rise or a sense of positive stimulation from being in a mindset of either hurting and suffering or rescuing others and being everything that they need. Now, we do want to be careful not to judge genuinely kind and compassionate people, labeling them as a martyr. We don't want to do that. And we also don't want to label somebody who truly is a victim, as being someone who just wants attention. So we have to be careful with these terms. But in today's video, I'm going to highlight what a martyr looks like in your family, what that personality disorder is, and how it may impact you. But before we jump in, let me briefly introduce myself. In case you are new, my name is Tamara. I'm an internationally and board certified trauma therapist. I'm licensed in mental health. I specialize in treating children, teens, and families, as well as adults who are dealing with trauma. Let's jump in. So the martyr personality disorder or complex is basically this. It is, I have a self-sacrificing persona, facade that I carry around, and I like the attention that it draws, whether that's from people who are needy and need love and compassion, people who have been in traumatic situations or abusive situations, or just volunteering and giving of themselves and their time and their money or possessions to other people. The scary part about martyr personality disorder or complex is that it's really not coming from the heart. It's not coming from a sincere, authentic place of being. It's actually coming from a deep-seated need to be wanted, praised, validated, and needed, okay? That's all this is. And this is cut out from, just those narcissists, okay? Now, they may have some narcissistic traits. They may even be psychopaths and sociopaths, but not quite. There's a few differences that makes a martyr personality complex different from a narcissist or a sociopath. Maybe I'll get to that in another video. I think it's important for you to know the characteristics of somebody like this and what you're likely to see. Now, a martyr personality complex or disorder, you might find religiosity, you might find perfectionism. You may also find, the individual minimizing their accomplishments and, trying to appear humble and modest when they're actually pretty inflated on the inside, maybe have some narcissistic tendencies. You're also going to see some self-sacrificing. You may even see them donate a ton of money just so that they can get on the news or, talk to a magazine about the $1.2 billion they donated, for example. You're also likely to see them being the rescuer and the hero in your family. In this live chat up here, I talk about family roles, so you might want to go back and check that out so you can get an idea of all the family roles. But being a hero and a rescuer is one example of a family role that a martyr may actually take up. Because again, it's this complex. It's something that they feel they need to live by, right? And kind of live their lives by. It's like a value system that has really possessed them in a sense. And there's no common sense. It's a chronic, pervasive pattern of self-sacrificing and wanting to be needed and doing it in a specific way. Now, victim syndrome or victim complex is a little bit different. Basically, this is, I have no control over my life. I'm always the victim. He or she did this to me. Why am I always getting beat up? I'm just going to keep pushing on through. I'm going to keep standing strong. I know something bad is going to happen to me tomorrow, but I am strong. I'm a overcomer, for example. I can do this. There are some people who really, they don't want to overcome. They don't want to get better. They want to live in that victimhood, for lack of a clinical term. And a lot of people with dependent personality disorder fit this description 100%. I'm going to post my video in the description box below where I talk about dependent personality disorder, so go ahead and check that out. But you may find the victim complex amongst individuals who have dependent personality. Let's jump into what you're likely to see and what's happening here within your family. So somebody who has a martyr personality disorder, you're likely to see a history of abuse, a history of trauma, a history of neglect. Here's what happens. The individual kind of attaches their identity to that self-sacrificing and that, religiosity and that, being a hero and rescuer type persona to the point of really appearing one way that they aren't in the inside, or on the inside, I should say. So these particular individuals may have grown up in really bad homes, had substance abusing parents, probably was sexually, physically, and emotionally abused. And the only way to kind of detach or dissociate from that, or kind of transform into a new person after that traumatizing history of abuse, is to be somebody that you're really not. And these particular individuals may become a martyr. They may feel that that's their life calling, when in reality, it just isn't. Next thing you're likely to see is poor self-esteem and poor identity. Again, when you don't have an identity, you attach to whatever you think is a good identity for that time. And this individual may change over time, but they really do attach to this martyr complex, and it's hard for them to let it go. It may actually start to harm them in negative ways, physically, emotionally, and psychologically, and they're still going to do it for the benefit of other people. And that's the sad reality of that. It's almost like, some individuals with martyr personality disorder may have like this delusional foundation under everything that they do. It's delusional. They think they're needed. They think they're wanted, right? When in reality, we don't really need them, but they feel that they are called to do what they're doing. The next thing is this strong sense of perfectionism, right? Everything has to be perfect. And if I'm going to contribute to goodness in the world, then I need to make sure that I am good, I look good, I sound good when I talk, I'm giving my all, And so these particular individuals may be over the top. They may have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, where things have to be lined up appropriately in their life. They have to stay on time. They can't miss anything. Everything has to be perfect, almost, to a point that's just unnatural. Nothing is going to be perfect, right? But these particular individuals think it can be. You might also want to think about intergenerational trauma, these individuals attaching to this self-sacrificing identity because of a history of trauma. It's really difficult to live with the reality that you have intergenerational trauma or any kind of family trauma. And so to kind of detach from that identity, you become a martyr, right? You stand up for what's right. You stand up for children's rights. You stand up for, abused women or domestic violence. And in a sense that detaches them from their own pain, it's a great endeavor. But these particular individuals are not really that way on the inside. They're just appearing that way. The next thing is pathological lying. Martyr personality disorder can result in that family member engaging in lying to cover things and to look better than they really are, and to, really be wonderful at what they do. They have to hide and cloak and cover in order to gain that kind of popularity in society. It's a very tiring pattern, but they rarely get tired of it, because on the inside, they are really broken people, but they want to appear self-sacrificing. The next thing is being hypersensitive. They may watch the news or hear about certain things and really feel broken. And the only way for them to manage their internal pain is to get up and do something about it, right? Get up and change the world myself. And there are some people who are really good at that, and I'm grateful for them, but there are other people, again, who are martyrs, or they have martyr complex or martyr personality disorder, and they really just do this to make themselves feel better. and to appear a certain way in the community, and that is not helpful at all. Now, I think we also need to look at the fact that martyrs or martyr complex and certain family members may also include choosing suffering. Sometimes these individuals choose a situation to be a part of and they suffer, and then when they come out of it, it's a testament, it's a new reality, it's a new life, you know? And this does not have anything to do with Christianity or Catholicism or any other religion where we recognize that pain is a part of that religion, right? That suffering is a part of it, but we can come out on the other side. Even post-traumatic growth is possible for those of you who are not religious. Just coming out on the other side and living better and being stronger is a beautiful reality. So this does not relate to that, but people who are martyrs really do search for suffering or situations where they're going to suffer so that they can prove they came out on the other side. And so in that sense, they are a rescuer, a hero, and a savior, and also a miracle. You know, again, these individuals want to be in the position and in the shoes of a rescuer, a hero. So they will go through suffering and then label themselves. Mood disorders, people who have mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder and schizoaffective disorder, they may choose to be a martyr because they're constantly depressed in the first place and they don't like what they're seeing in the world. They want to make a difference, but unfortunately, these particular family members who have Martyr Personality Disorder, they're only making their depression worse by looking for situations to help. Thank you so much for being with me today in this video. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and hit that subscribe and bell button if you want to stick around with us. I will see you in the next video. We're going to be talking about, a whole lot of stuff. Religious trauma, family trauma, sister and brother trauma, sibling trauma. So stick around for that. We're going to get to all of those topics soon. I'll see you in the next one.